So, again, this is Free to Heal, and we come together every week so that we can heal the ravages of incarceration. And you're going to have to stay awake because you can't be right here if you can't be awake. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah. He can't. What? You can't sit down.
He get. He got.
My name Pike, and I ain't get my check this week.
Oh Lord. Okay. So anyway, at Free to Heal, we come together every week. We're either formerly incarcerated, loved ones, children of people who've been incarcerated, and our goal is to have healthy relationships, to be healthy, to encourage healthy responses to things, and that's why we're here every week. And this particular week, um, we are blessed to have so we're not all meeting in one place, just me and this dude here, Mr. James. We're in the same location. Everybody else is on remotely. It's been one of those days where people's circumstances just taking us all over the place. So we're glad that you could be with us. Tonight, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and I had it open on a book, and I guess it was one of the workbooks. No, there's another workbook that I had, and I had it open, and I don't know what I did with it, but that's okay. I have another copy of the workbook, so we can work with that. That's all right. It was a question in chapter 6 of my workbook, Hurt People Highway, the workbook, which is a companion to my book, Hurt People Highway, Identifying Unhealthy Elements in Relationships. But now what we're doing is we're trying to focus very heavily on how we move forward in all of our relationships. How do we become better people as a whole? How do we not make the same mistakes that we've been making? And because ultimately we want to have healthy communities, and healthy communities stem from healthy neighborhoods, families. Well, that's healthy individuals. And so if that's our goal, then we have to make sure that we are concentrating on how do we all become healthy, right? But it was one of the questions in this chapter stood out to me. Wait 1 second, you guys, because I definitely wanted, I had it all laid out for myself. Oh, this is the one here. And I wanted it, and I'm gonna tell you something, you guys. Honestly, right now, this feels almost like it's not the right direction to go in for this reason. In our check-in, we just discussed and met a gentleman who's online with us today who um, was incarcerated since 1970 for something he didn't do. And my soul, my gut, everything in me is grieving for that loss. Um, mm. This is my first time meeting this gentleman. But I can't even begin to imagine in all of these years that he is just now being freed, vindicated, and that the district attorney, Mr. Gascon, actually reached out in his case. He said to tell them that there was something wrong with the original prosecution, and he believes that that's why he's home. And um, I just have to say I'm grateful for that. I also want to make sure that his story, we're going to be working at Free to Heal to make sure that his story is out there, because he has said to us that his goal is to ensure that his family name is cleared. And I'm just, I'm just blown away at that his story is not unique. That's the thing that disturbs me about it so much. Aside from, they took his whole life, his whole adult life from him.
And they took his name. He had an alias the whole time.
Right. And that matters, right? Gave him Diane, and when you say that, right? So took his name, and I want you to expound on what that makes you feel when you hear that they took his name from him.
That's the one that floored me. I almost got off like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this for tonight. Because when he said they just took his name, how can somebody can just take your name like that? That's just taking your whole life from you. Your name is all you have. That's the only thing you have. Your name is all you got. Your name.
Yeah,
And they
and
took that
be able to
man's
clear
name.
it. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
they gave this man a whole new name.
Mm.
He couldn't even get no help because they let him use his real name.
Yeah.
His parents
Gave him a name.
gave
That's,
him a name.
that's his name. They took the man's name from him.
Yeah, and
They stripped him from everything that he had. And that wasn't right.
I can see the shenanigans, the bullshit of the judicial system, because I just got a summons. I'm fixing to serve my first time ever on the jury board, and I wasn't gonna do it until one of my cousins told me that I need to be there in order to right some of the wrongs of the judicial system because I've been incarcerated so long. And because I was willing to go do a year in prison or county time for not showing up, but this is something that we as individuals, other than voting, or when they call you to jury duty, show up because we can make a difference. We have to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at this brother and hearing this brother's story makes me stronger at doing what, because I was willing to go do the year in the county jail because I didn't want to serve on a system that I know is corrupt. But how do you deal with a corrupt system unless you get in the root of it and you implant some
Truth.
right in what's wrong? So, I commend you, my brother Trent. I did 26 and a half years, never as much as you, but we both walked the same miles. I ripped up my boots when I left. I literally, all night, the night before I left, I took a razor and actually cut the boots that I wore for years, going to their PIA working in their PIA for years. But needless to say, you have really given me a strength that I should carry your name. I'm going to see if I can get a wristband and I'm going to put your name on this wristband when I go serve my jury duty because it's people like you that need somebody like me on this jury. And brother, your strength is my steps. And I appreciate you. May Allah bless you and hold you in the finest degree that you've always been. Whether they take your name, they couldn't take your spirit. Your spirit shines like a light. Be that beacon because we need that. We need that.
And the thing is for us is that we do need to serve on those juries. First of all, you earned it because you got off of your paper, you came out, you did all of that, and you deserve to be off paper. And so now it is your civic duty to help somebody else because you understand um, things that people who normally sit on juries don't understand. I can guarantee you in 1970, when this man went before a jury, there wasn't a whole bunch of people looking like you. And certainly nobody with your experience or understanding on that jury. So I feel like we do owe it to society and to others for us to actually sit on these juries and be able to infuse it with reason and what makes sense. So I just there's no way I couldn't just move forward without saying that to the world. Anybody who may be new to Free to Heal, I don't think we very much have ever talked about um, how many people are innocent, how many people have been incarcerated for long periods of time that are innocent. We just haven't talked about that. We talk, one of the things, and maybe it's because of our focus on personal responsibility and accountability. right? We're very big on accepting responsibility. So, and I don't think there's been anybody else really that has said they didn't do, or they were not guilty, or they were innocent of what they were accused of per se, like that, in order for us to actually have a further conversation about it. But for us, it's very important that people realize that people become incarcerated lots of times for crimes that they didn't commit, and it is a common thing, more than we would actually like to admit as a society. And so I'm glad you're going to go to jury duty. I'm glad you're going to, serve, because somebody has to do that. Somebody has to do that. Somebody has to be there to be that voice of reason. Um, and and to say, wait a minute, because what I would say is this: we don't go into a situation and not notice something don't sound right about that. Something that, like, I'm sure something don't sound right about that. That it had to occur to somebody when they convicted this gentleman that something wasn't right. But also in group dynamics, people begin to just go along with the program too. So that is another thing that we just have to be careful and conscious of, is the fact that people will just go along with the group go along to get along. You know what I mean? And that's not a good thing. I was talking to a guy. He had lost his wife several years ago, and he was telling me that he remarried and that it wasn't working. And I said to him, listen, I said, I'm begging you, please, if it's not working and you say it is a nightmare for you every day, I'm begging you, go do the right thing by yourself and get out. Mistakes that are made don't have to be a life sentence. And what I'm disturbed about is that for this gentleman, this became a life sentence for him. And it wasn't fair. He didn't deserve it. And so I just want to say that I apologized to him before, and I'm going to apologize again. But I just couldn't move on. I'm sorry. My heart would not allow me just to act like we didn't hear what we heard, and I didn't feel what I felt about that story. Is there anything you would like to say? Let's have you to unmute.
Take your time, big brother.
Mm-hmm. Let me click it one more time for me, babe. There you go.
What I would like to say is thank you to all of you who spoke in support of my fight. I may not be able to do what I want to do, but I can guarantee you one thing. I'm going to die trying to do it. And that is clear. It has never been really about me. It's been about my family's name. That's what it's been about. That's where my fight's been from day one. About my family's name. And I feel I really feel a lot stronger tonight than I felt in a long time. By hearing each and every one of you.
Well, I can guarantee you got
Speaking. Come down. Oh, okay.
Speaking and supporting me in your efforts to make it known to me that you do indeed understand.
yes.
And what I can really appreciate is that not one person made the absurd statement that they knew how I felt.
No.
Not one person. And that's what made me understand that you guys, man, you guys are such a terrific bunch of people.
And we got your back. Now that we can say.
I'm so happy. I'm supposed to be here tonight because I was scrolling through my messages 2 days ago, and I happened to see this posting from Smitty at the main Francisco House, and something just kept telling me, man, tune in on that. Tune in.
That's awesome.
And that's what I did. Thank you. Thank you all. And I'm gonna be here every week.
And we'll be there for you. I mean, literally, we're gonna make sure that we like I said, I told you, we have events. We have events, and we'll make sure that we are bringing your story forward at all of our events. Things that we do, we're going to make sure of that. And I'm going to get some information from you later. But I'm just so grateful that you are with us. It matters.
And I would like to say in front of everyone, the information, other than the information that you request, it's going to be information straight out of the DA's office, and it's going to blow you away.
Yeah.
It's going to blow you away.
And I'm so sure, I'm convinced of it. I believe it with everything that I have in me right now. I believe that's what the situation is going to be, because there's no way that if this man can come in all these decades later and realize that there was something wrong. They knew it when they did it. They knew it then. They knew it when they did it. But it was not unusual for them. This was a pattern. This was a pattern of behavior for them. This wasn't something that they just did just now. They did this on a regular basis, and they got away with it. But the good thing is that your desire is to clear your family name. We could never give you back those years. We can never give them back to you. I wouldn't even try to promise you something like that. But what we can do is try to help you to clear your family's name. And so that I commit that, those of us that are here regularly, that we will work on with you. If nothing else, just putting the information out there that something happened, there was a wrong that happened, a man's life was changed, and it wasn't changed for the better. And so therefore, we owe this man at least to clear his family name. So I want to give you an opportunity to say the name that needs to be cleared if you would like to.
At some point in time, but let's hold that back until you get to read some of this information.
You got it. Whenever
whatever you request, I guarantee you will get it.
Okay, and we're going to make sure that this information gets out there. I wanted to make sure. Okay, there we go. I want to make sure there were no hands up. What I would also like to do at this point, because this question here about it was about us and what situations, because this is not just about intimate partners. This is in general, though. Is there any type or situation that you should never engage in again because it produces unhealthy results for you? And I want to open the floor up. Is there any type of or situation that you should never engage in because it produces unhealthy results in you? Because remember, again, at this point, what we're trying to do at this point is for us to be better. And the best way for us to be better is for us to know ourselves. We got to know us in order for us to be able to know what's good for us, what's not good, and that kind of thing. So I want us to think about that and see Any particular anybody have and if you do just jump in, but any type or situation that you shouldn't be in that you know it produces unhealthy results in you. And I can start for me. I've used this as an example with you guys before. If none of y'all don't have one, it might spark something in you. For me, as an example, I don't do undefined relationships, whether that's friendships or anything else. I don't do undefined. Why don't I do undefined? Because I don't know my responsibility in the relationship, and I don't know what your responsibilities are. Okay.
Oh, you know. Oh, you know.
I know what, Terrell.
Quit kicking the can.
I know you.
Quit kicking the can.
I know what, Terrell. What do I know?
I just had to get a laugh out of everybody because we was on here too
undefined,
serious.
Terrell, I don't know what my job is.
Terrell, stop it. You know you kicking the can. Leave that can alone.
He trying to get bit. He trying to get bit by. He trying to get bit. What? Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna call you out.
Uh-oh. Get it.
Now I'm gonna call you out. Oh no! Don't be muting now. Unmute, baby. Go on and talk to the people.
Now, I mean, no. I mean, if you want, now listen, I'm just gonna keep it a meal like I do. The thing that I know that messes me up was having threesomes and having multiple relationships with people.
Wait. When you say threesomes, you mean
threesome with me too, with me and two women.
Okay, got you. Okay.
So that was something I did on a regular basis before I went back to prison and got out this time. Since I've been home 4.5 years, oh no, it hasn't happened because I know it's not good for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not good for me. So, and I've had a bunch of sexual pleasure, but I know that that's not good for me, and it's definitely not good for those other people. And being that it's not good for them is definitely not good for me because it comes back to me because I'm the man in the middle.
Yeah.
So that's something that since I've been home, it's like, oh no. It's like, and like, well, you ain't had it. No, and I'm cool. I'm cool with that. So, and that's just me, you know what I'm saying? On a straight level.
And that's why I
that's
wanted to
something
raise
that
it
I know that's not good.
because it's an individual thing. It's an individual thing. For some people, if undefined works for them. Go ahead, James. You wanted to say something.
Mine is being in toxic relationships and think that I can come out of it as a friend. I'm not a friend to everyone. I can't be. And I'm trying to be that person that want everybody to like you. I'm tired of being a bull in the china shop where I go in and I just bully everybody and run in with blaze of glory, my pistols and all. No. I think I'm coming to, and my sisters have literally pulled their belts off and whooped me. For me to understand that there's a pattern in toxic relationships. And when you see the patterns, then it's time to say, okay, we got to put on the grown man's underoos and say, look, let's stop, hold it, let's get out of this right now. Because neither one of us is benefiting from this relationship right here, whether it be friendship, whether it be relationship, whether it be even dealing with family. I had to cut some of my family loose. And when they called me, I had to tell them flat out, check this out. This is a new me. I just turned a new leaf. I'm not dealing with people that bring toxic in my life. I've been depressed too long. I've been having bad anxieties. I'm cutting everybody out. I'm redefining. Excuse me. And I have that right.
Yes.
We have that. That's what my sister told me. I have that right to redefine and make myself whole. So instead of pleasing everybody else and making everybody else happy, for once, I'm gonna make me happy. Like I used to always tell brothers, why don't you date yourself before you try to date somebody else so you know who you are and what you are. Now I'm giving my own advice because I tried it at first, but we got a little muddled in the perception of what I want. So now it's about no drama. like my girl, what's her name? Mary J. Blige.
Mm-hmm. No more.
No more drama.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got enough of that dealing with the police every day. I got enough of that when I go to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to get my job to go to work every day. So why do I want that in my personal life? Nah. So that's where I come from, is that no more drama, no more bullshit, you know, flat out, bull in the china shop ain't working. It's about being honest, date me again, love me for who I am, and move forward and understand that just because I did the time and I got that J58030, I don't have to be J58030. I can be Mr. James DeVille Sanders and walk in my own pair of shoes. Mm-hmm. You know, so with that, I appreciate my sisters and I appreciate my brothers. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's important that we, again, what is it for us, right? Our own stuff. How do we clean up our own stuff, and what do we know about ourselves that we need to adjust? Because nobody can fix it for us. We have to understand. I know that the things, when I'm in a situation and there's no definition, I know that I become I'm not a nice person, and part of it is I don't feel safe. I understand that today. I didn't always, but I don't feel safe in a situation where I don't know what my position is. And I don't know what I have a right to require, to expect. Those things are not good for me. They make me it causes me to feel insecure. And the worst thing in the world, you know, they say that the sexiest thing in the world is confidence in a man or a woman, right? Yeah. Well, if I don't feel confident, there's no way I could be any of those things, right? Because I don't feel good about me. I don't feel secure in my position. I don't even know what my position is. Most of the times in those undefined relationships, there is no position, right? All you got is, is whatever is allowed for the moment. You don't have an actual position. So you don't, because, one thing you said, James, about you have a right to redefine your life. Well, guess what? It's bigger than that. You have a responsibility. And you're the person responsible for that. So I'm the person responsible to protect my heart. I'm responsible to protect um, my behavior. I'm responsible for that. I can't put that off on you. I can't make that your job because today that's how I feel. No, it's my job on every single day. But how I can't take care of my job if I don't know what my position is at this particular moment. I cannot allow myself to invest in times when I don't know what I'm supposed to be investing. Sometimes it may be simple things, a hello here and there or whatever. But if I don't know that, and I don't know that you're expecting something more from me, then I'm not delivering on what you perceive as my part of the relationship or my obligation in the relationship. And then that's how people become disenchanted and they feel let down in relationships because they don't know what their position is. And I have said another challenge of mass incarceration is every family has an order. So there's like, we talk about what the oldest child, what their job is. Even when you broaden the family out, the firstborn grandchild takes on a particular role. And everybody has a role. Well, once you start plucking people out of those positions, everybody shifts. Everybody shifts into a different position and they begin to take on responsibilities. Well, guess what? Then their position is not filled. Right? Mm-hmm. Eventually you pull enough people out. And so you don't have a cohesiveness, which is what we see in our communities today through mass incarceration, right? Mass incarceration, particularly the war on drugs, incarcerated a lot of people, a lot of women. It took mothers out of families, out of households. And what happens is when you shift that many people out, now you have chaos.